Hello, friends. It has been a busy month, and we have got a lot of things to catch up on.
Catch me up.
I've got 3 VRs that I want to do. I've got a care package, and the other thing is I would like to talk about the word of the year. So stick around, and let's keep going with this conversation.
Can we talk?
Hello, friends. I am John, and I am a 3D 80s kid. To kick things off, I have got a care package from Chris from Missouri. The note you sent was lovely, and it's got some excellent cursive penmanship. Much better than you see on lots of these modern day autograph cards.
It's a pretty low bar these days.
So thank you, Chris. And we've got some cards here to show that he sent me. We've got a 69 Topps Decal Edge Roberto Clemente. A little rough on this one, but still you see that excellent glare of Roberto's on this card. And apparently Mr. Post-War Rookie Collector is trying to convert me. He's trying to make me collect some rookie cards.
You can't change me. You can't change me.
Here, as he sent me a 66 Jim Palmer rookie. There we go. Nice one. The 76 Dennis Eckersley rookie card. We got the 89 Fleer Randy Johnson for the nice Mangini Price sticker on that one. And then lastly, he's got a 1983 Topps Tony Gwynn here in a 4. Looks very nice for this 4 grade. It seems to be decently centered. I have a copy of this card somewhere that is OC to the point where it's probably going to would get a 2.5 grade, similar to my OC Ted Williams card back there. But this one looks great, and thank you very much, Chris. I don't think you're going to convert me on the rest of those vintage cards, considering their price tag, but this gift is very thoughtful and appreciated, so thank you very much, sir.
Thanks, Chris.
For the first VR I'd like to discuss, it is Peter B., who finally gave us a face reveal on his channel when he talked about this VR. Great to see you in person finally, Peter. Hope we get to see more of you, and maybe I'll get to see you in Cleveland here. I got my ticket already ready to go. I don't know if you're going or not, but would be great to see you, as well as many others out in Cleveland. So. But the VR he asked us for was to talk about cards from our birth year, and mine would be 1974.
You're getting old, John.
And as it turns out, I have never purchased a baseball card of that year. But I do have 2 cards thanks to 2 different VR wins. It turns out that, for the 70s, I was collecting lots of these 72 Topps cards, as that is my favorite card design from the 70s. But I did pick up this one here. I'm pretty sure this was part of the consolation prize of 25 cards that was part of Picker Jim's big contest this year, where he gathered people sent in cards from the community to him, and that was George over Concrete Buddy won the big grand prize, and I think I won what was the second place prize, which was 25 vintage cards, of which this was included, and that would be this 1974 World Series card, which is actually the final Playing Days Topps card of Mr. Willie Mays there in the photo. I still think it's a shame there wasn't a regular issue for him in that set. Otherwise, I would have purchased one of those, since I've got my Willie Mays run down here. But, so there is no card that actually shows his final cumulative totals from Topps. So, this is a great addition to my collection here. Eventually, I'll probably get that in a SGC slab, but I have yet to do so. The other card I won was from Matt over at the Card Story, which is card number 1 of the 1974 Topps set in this Hank Aaron card that is a favorite of him and Ty. As this was the card, not this copy, but the one they kept is the thing that kicked things off for them with their whole Hank Aaron collecting. So to me, this one, I'll keep it just as it is because I always think of Matt and Ty whenever I see this one. So as far as the cards I actually purchased from that year, I don't know if it totally qualifies because if you look at a PSA slab, these things will say 1973.
Forget that.
But these are 1973-74 basketball cards that I purchased during my first year back in collecting, when at that time my focus was on basketball cards. And the reason I picked these was that that set was actually the first year where Topps had the NBA license. So all the cards you see of vintage basketball that look strange because the guys got their uniform on backwards where you see their last name in the front, that's because Topps did not have the license. Like where you'll see the Dr. J rookie, where you actually see his uniform, that's because they did have the license with the ABA, but they didn't with the NBA, so they couldn't show the team names and logos for NBA teams. But for this set, they actually could, but it looks like they had prepared the photography for this first one as if they weren't going to have the license still, because that's also another common pose you would see with those cards were before they had the license, where they intentionally photograph it, whereas arm covers up the Lakers. And there, Pat Riley is one I chose because, when I was growing up, it was Lakers versus Celtics. And I grew up in California, so it was showtime for me. And Pat Riley being the slicked hair coach of those teams. So I wanted a card of his. Additionally, I got Hall of Famer legend Oscar Robertson here, where you can actually see the Bucks on his uniform. And turns out that year, the Bucks were in the Western Conference and lost in the finals to the Celtics. Again, with cards where the arm kind of covers up, which this might have been one they had prepared already. In case they didn't have the license, so with Jerry West here. And one other interesting thing here with the 73-74 set is that they did not do separate All-Star cards. They did the different design for the All-Star players, and this was his only card, as it does have the full stats for Jerry West on the back of the card, because that's his only card of the set. Whereas then the base design here, like of Wilt Chamberlain, where you can see Lakers on his jersey. Apparently he was not an all-star at that late point of his career. While with him in the Western Conference, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was an all-star. And it's got both of them actually on this card here, which is a great shot. So that completes the entirety of my collecting of cards from 1974. So thanks, Peter B., for doing this contest. And you've got a great channel. Love your Tobacco Tuesdays. Your collection of those tobacco cards is obviously amazing. And all the different paraphernalia even you have with the packaging and all that stuff as well. It's something you don't see too much of out there. So thanks, Peter.
Thank you, Peter.
So up next, I wanted to talk a little bit about the word of the year and how it relates to my collecting this year. For those who follow any of these whole word of the year announcements, I am not talking about the Oxford Unabridged Dictionary's word of the year, Riz, which I had to ask my family, what the hell does that even mean when I heard that? And their statement to me is, first of all, never say the word Riz again.
I second that motion.
And after that, they described it to me as it apparently being short for charisma. So it has to do with then having style and charm and attractiveness. So
obviously you lack all of these qualities.
In case you were wondering, that'll be the last time I try to use that word ever. So the word I was actually going for was the Merriam-Webster word of the year, and that would be authentic, which means real, genuine, true. And how this relates to me and my collecting is pretty early in the year, I had an SGC order, and one of the cards came back as authentic, minimum size. And as someone who at that point was only used to number grades, I was a little shocked by that. But then, it didn't bother me ultimately. Whatever's on the slab, whatever, it's about the card, and the card still looks great. Just because it is whatever millimeters short or whatever it is, it's not very much smaller than my other 53 Bowmans, and, it still looks nice. I was predicting it was going to get like a 4 grade because it's just got one little wrinkle on the front that doesn't go all the way through as a crease to the back, and other than that, it looks pretty good. The corners are decent. So it's still a great looking card as far as I'm concerned. And, mint size, whatever. So I proceeded then, as the year went on, to start collecting into the pre-war realm. And in that space, authentic is a very common grade. And not only that, it is a significant bargain typically over number grades, because a lot of people in this community or hobby apparently are obsessive. Remember, I've got a VR going on obsessiveness. They're due by Friday, December 22nd. So there's still time. Thank you to the, I believe at this point, 21 people who have responded to that. But
Talk about self-promotion.
I digress. So people are very obsessive about there being numbers apparently on their slabs. And so those of us who don't give a crap, that is an opportunity to save some money. And I have saved some money this year with that, as I added a Eddie Roush W516-2-2, because the 2-2 is one of the twos is based off of the numbering of the cards. Like in some sequences, the cards are 1 through 10, and the other sequences, the 10 they become reversed. So the numbers of the cards, and the other -2 has to do with the photo. As you can see, the C on his shirt is reversed, so this is a reverse negative, whereas it would be a -1 if it was the proper picture orientation. So. Authentic min size, I will take it. The card's beautiful. Another one that looks really nice quality is this Rogers Hornsby 1926 W512, and this one's his 1 year that was on the New York Giants, and another min size. But the card's authentic. It's real. It's genuine. So I will certainly take that. And no way I could have afforded a 33 Gaudy Carl Hubble that would be a little bit more border on one side to make it not min size. So I will take this all day. And I even picked up a card ungraded and got it graded this year, probably knowing, assuming it was actually going to be an authentic because of the strange cut to this hand cut W573. And that's of Max Carey, Pittsburgh Pirates Hall of Famer. Another one of the bunch of my authentics. And this leads me now to Hugo over at Signs of the Pastime, who wanted us as a VR to identify our pickup of the year. And for me, that would be this last of my authentic cards, which is a 1919-21 W514 of inaugural Hall of Fame class member Walter Johnson. I am enamored with this card. It's my favorite pickup of the year, and part of what goes into that is the fact that I think of childhood me and of owning a Plain Days Walter Johnson card, and I don't believe adult me telling child me that information. So, and you gotta love a pink background of the sky as well. But there you go, Hugo. That is my pickup of the year. I love your channel. I love how you go on location with your videos, and you put so much time and thought into the planning and editing and everything that they just come out great. So everybody, if you're not subscribed to Hugo over at Signs of the Pastime, get over there now and do so, because you're missing out. All right.
Thank you, Hugo.
So for my last VR, I am going to respond to Sammy Thunder and Orlando over to Collector's Dream, who are having their dual 2K subscriber contest, and they asked us to name some channels that are must-watches. And honestly, for me, I try to watch and keep my eye on as much of the community as absolutely possible. I am currently subscribed to over 440 channels in this community, and that's what I'm trying to filter through and consume on a regular basis in order to do the best job possible when I put together those monthly recap videos I am doing for the For Collectors channel.
So I won't have time for anything else.
And so as such, there are a lot of awesome channels to watch. So I wanted to do this a little bit differently. I already did a thing where I talked about my closest friends in this hobby space when I did a VR a little while back for Basement Collector, who was asking us which YouTube channels we're thankful for. So in this case, I wanted to do a list of all the channels that I have interacted with directly via interview, live stream, appearing on their channel, and I was amazed at how long of a list that ended up being for me this year. And let's go ahead and start it off. So all of this started, obviously, with Clemente Collector, as I was his first interviewee, and he was my first interviewee when we started doing interviews on each of our individual channels. But from there, I've got Decon's Cardboard, Vintage Sanctuary, Pepino Man, Picker Jim S., Reindeer Studios, Lou Rock TV, JP Wisco, The Drew of Vintage Legacy, Wade Boggs Fan, Concrete Buddy, Rocket Rick J18, Elite Hunters, Chris from Missouri, Basement Card Collector, Lefty NDV10, B Roth 6, Mr. Fisherbike, Paige and Deanie Bean, Double D Vintage Baseball Cards, Splendid Sports Cards, Legends of the Dugout, Baseball Collector, Sammy Thunder, The Card Story, Staven Sports Cards, Four Soft Corners, A Collector's Dream, Legends Never Die, The Mangini Collection, The Chosen Roster, Return to Collecting, Midlife Sports Cards, Four Leaf Cards, That 70s Card Show, Don's Field of Dreams, Billy Ball Game Sports Cards, Victor the Rookie Card Specialist, Card Cutter, and Canadian Cards. I was amazed at this list of 40 names I have interacted with live on screen at times throughout this calendar year. It's been a great experience meeting all these people on YouTube. I am super excited once again to display this, my 2024 Sports Card Convention ticket. Hopefully I'll get to meet lots of these folks in Cleveland in person, and it will be amazing. So I am loving this community, and big congrats to Sammy and Orlando. Both your channels have incredible stuff. It's great to see all those card show videos, as well as all the things that both of you are picking up. Continued success for both of you, and it'll be great to meet you both in person. I know you're both going to Cleveland as well, so looking forward to that. So thanks for putting this out in the community, and thank you to everybody for watching. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time.
Goodbye for now.